Hey guys, how's it going? I got another ice and snow video coming, so those of you looking forward to that, it's on the way. But I just wanted to take a little interlude here and do something different and maybe fun, maybe not. Some of you might like it, some of you may not. But I got some toys in the basement I want y'all to check out, and they hadn't been out for about 10 to 15 years, so I just thought I'd get them out and have a little fun and take y'all along. So check it out, see what you think.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my lair. Actually, it's just my basement. But we're going to do something extremely different from what I've ever done on my channel before. I don't know, some of you may not like this, some of you may love it. But I've got 3 monster trucks sitting over here in my basement. Yeah, monster trucks in my basement that haven't been started, and I'm going to approximate probably 10 years. And I'm going to try to start all 3 of them today. My son has been fascinated with them, and he wants to see them run. So I just thought it's nap time right now. He's taking a nap. My wife's gone playing volleyball, so I've been working really hard on these things to try to get them to where they'll run again. I've had corroded batteries that are dead that won't charge, stuff I've just been messing with, and I've got everything where I think that I can get them to run. But let me show you what they are here. All right, here they are, all 3 of them. We got, on the left, we got a Traxxas. This is the newest one I have. Back when I was, I don't know, in my early 20s, I bought these things. So they're about 15 years old. And all of them were bought within like 3 years of each other because I was pretty big into it back then. And they all got like hopped up suspension and all kinds of tuned exhaust, just all kinds of crazy parts that I put on them. Metal drive shafts, they come with plastic, and broke the plastic ones, so put metal drive shafts on, stuff like that. But anyway, on the left we got the newest one. It's got a 3.3 Traxxas engine. In the middle we have another Traxxas. These 2 are T-Max trucks, and this was the first one I ever bought right here in the middle. I don't know why I lined them up this way. But anyway, this one, the engine that come on it was a 2.5, and I burned it up like in the first 2 days I owned the truck because I was running it too lean because of inexperience. I didn't know how to tune the engine, and I was trying to read the directions, and I kept going lean because I thought it was too rich, but it was actually too lean, and I burnt the motor up. So I ended up, right after I bought the truck and messed the motor up, I ended up having to buy a new engine, and I ended up buying an OS engine and putting on this truck, which if you don't know models, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. So just bear with me. We'll get to the good part here in a minute. So that truck was my first truck. I believe this was my second truck. This is a different brand. It's a HPI Racing. It's got a big block engine on it, and it's really strong. And then I bought that one last. It was the latest truck that I bought. And I remember the last thing I was doing with that is I had it down at Myrtle Beach, run it on the beach. It's a wonder it's not rusted away, but most of it's aluminum and plastic. So anyway, the goal is to get these trucks running. I just want to see if they'll run and maybe take them for a test drive. I think I got all the batteries charged on the onboard batteries. But all these engines run off of nitro fuel, and that's the other issue that I'm not sure about yet. This fuel is probably 10 plus years old. It's 20% nitro. It's got methanol in it. It says nitromethane, 99.95% pure methanol, 99.9% pure. Clance lubrication package. I've got a bunch of this stuff, and I'm hoping it hasn't went bad. It's been sealed tightly, but they say this stuff doesn't last forever, even in a container. So that may be the limiting factor on getting these things started. We'll find out here in a minute. So, 2 of these trucks, well, actually all 3 of them, have electric start, but the 2 Traxxas truck have the easiest starter. This is the starter system, or this has got the battery in it, and it also powers the glow plug. These trucks have glow plugs to ignite the fuel when they're cold, and after they get warm, then they will run on their own just from the heat from the piston compressing the gases in the cylinder. The glow plug no longer stays energized. So what you do on these trucks is you just stick it down in this hole, push it, ignites the glow plug, spins the engine over. This truck is the same way. This truck here, oh wait, it don't have one of those. Okay, it's got a different starter, and you have to use a independent glow plug igniter, and we'll get to that when we get ready to start it. But the first thing I want to do is start the 2 Traxxas trucks. So I'm going to go probably outside since my boy's asleep, and because these things are rather loud, I'm going to start one at a time, see if I can get it to run, take it for a short trip, and then move to the next truck. So, y'all come with me if you're interested. Okay, so one of the first things I got to do is put fuel in the trucks. So, I got a little, well, this one ain't never been opened. Let me get the other jug. I'll be right back. Here we go. Here's one that I've been using out of. Still smells the same. You take this little thing off, and you suck some fuel in this bottle. Alright, got a little bit in there. So, what you do now is you open this cap. This is the fuel tank. I'm gonna pull the body off this truck so you can see what's going on. Here's the fuel cap. You pull that back, and then you just pour this in there. And I don't have but 2 hands, so I want to set the camera down. I got to do that to each truck. Similar situation. Just open it, put the fuel in. This one's the same way. So I want to put about a half a tank of fuel in each truck. That way I can run them just a few minutes. Alright, and once I do this, we'll go outside and do the starting. I will say this about this methanol fuel right here. It is very, very poisonous. So you do not want to leave it sitting around where your kid can get it. Especially don't leave it sitting around in this stuff right here. I have to be very careful about this. I know this. You put that pink stuff in this bottle right here, it looks like Kool-Aid or something to them. This looks like a perfect drinking straw, right? It will kill a kid. Trust me. I've read lots of stuff about it. You do not want anyone drinking this stuff. So, I keep that bottle empty. So if he does get it, there's nothing in it. And I keep the lid, these lids are child safety proof, and I keep the lid on super tight, so there's no way you can get it off anyway. And yeah, alright, let's go start these trucks. Okay, this is going to be truck number 1. This is the newest truck, and I've got it fueled. I'm going to turn on the controller and do a radio check before I do anything else. So I'm going to turn on the radio on the truck. I think it's receiving. We got steering. We have throttle. I can hear the throttle and the brakes. Supposed to have brakes. Got brakes. Okay. Now for the fun part. Will it start? Now you're going to see me putting my finger over the exhaust pipe. That's how you prime the fuel. It builds pressure in the tank, in the fuel tank, and that helps push fuel to the engine. So I want to go ahead and I'm going to start start turning the engine over. I'll probably be giving it fuel and priming and doing all kinds of stuff, and maybe we can get this little motor run. Come on. I hear it. It's trying. Years. Come on. Oh yeah. Warm up this thing. Fuel must still be good. A little bit cold nature of these engines are. See if we'll crank back. Alright, I'm going to set the camera up so you can watch this thing run a minute. Now, I may have to do a little tuning on it. Pretty good. I don't think it's running to its full capacity, but it's running. I think it's running a little bit rich. Uh-oh. Woo! Willy time. I believe it's tuned about right. See if reverse works. Nope, reverse won't work. Oh, there it went. Starting to run out of gas. This truck's running good. wants to do now is wheelie. To the brakes, but they just quit on it. Working now, but when I was going about 30 miles an hour, they quit. Alright, that's enough for this truck. Okay, so truck number 1 started and ran perfectly. To my surprise, everything went good. Truck number 2 here has not been started in even longer time than the last one, and I just don't know. I don't know about this truck. I hadn't run it in forever. So I want to go ahead and turn the radio on, turn the truck radio on. I forgot to get the body clips. I need to go get them. They hold the body down is what I'm talking about. See, the body's loose. But I want to see if the truck will start before I go get them. Now I'm going to do, steering's good. Sounds like the throttle's working. Reverse is working. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and try to crank this truck and see what happens. You gotta be kidding me. That truck hasn't been started in at least 12 years. While it's warming up, we'll get the body flipped. Okay, so let's take this truck right here for a spin. Alright, so first thing I'm noticing is I only have front wheel drive. So apparently something's broke on this truck. It's probably the rear drive shaft. I just blew the tire off the rim. Now it won't go at all. The rims are glued to the tires and I just broke the glue is what happened. So now it won't go. But anyway, the truck does run. It just needs a little TLC to get it back into usable condition. So I'll go ahead and shut this truck off and we'll get the last truck out. It's probably been, I don't know which one hadn't been running the longest. It's either this one or the next truck. The next truck, I hadn't used it, I don't know when. This one's probably been running since it has. These trucks are just easier to get out and get started because of the starting system on them. So I always use these trucks when I was playing mostly. But, alright, I'm going to go ahead and shut this truck down and get the last truck out here and we'll see what it'll do. Okay, we're going to have a little help on this last truck. It took me a few minutes to find everything I need to start it because, hold on son. This truck takes a different type of starter. It takes a rotating type starter. And then you have to put this glow plug igniter on the glow plug, which is down inside the engine here. So I got to do that. Then I'll rotate the engine to start it. Hold on, we ain't ready yet, okay? So I got to do all that. Let's get it set up. I'm gonna turn the radio on, do a radio check, and make sure it works. I hadn't even tested it yet. So we've got batteries in the remote. All right, we're gonna give it a shot here, see what happens. Okay, so I have a little glow plug out of one of those engines right here. It's a brand new one that I'm not using yet. But here's that tool that you're seeing me use to ignite the glow plug on the HPI truck. But I wanted y'all to see what it did. See when I stick the glow plug on there? See how it glows, gets hot? That's what ignites the fuel to make these trucks run when they're cold. Now once they get warm, you no longer need this attached to this, because the heat from the combustion will keep it hot enough for that methanol nitro mix to burn, so it doesn't have to continue glowing. But when the engine's cold, it has to have that to get started. Okay. Let's do the radio check. Got to turn. For some reason, the brakes is locked up on this truck. That kind of worries me. I'm hoping it'll unlock. There we go. Okay. Let me see it. Let me do a radio check, okay? We got steering, throttle, brakes. Okay, everything's working, okay?
Okay.
All right, you hold on to this for a second.
Okay.
All right, that's kind of scary that he has controls of this thing, but all right. You gotta stick this needle up its butt here. All right, let me keep that so you don't accidentally run over somebody, okay? All right. Come on. Gotta let the starter cool off. It says 5 seconds maximum. Yeah, right. You'll never get it started. Okay. There we go. Okay, here we're going to test the last truck here. And it runs! Oh, hold on, buddy. Fail-safe turned it off. This truck don't have reverse. Strange, I hadn't had to turn a screw on any of these trucks. Oh! Okay, so there we go. After all these years, all 3 of my trucks, or my toys, I guess you could say, still run. Now, there is a procedure I go through after every time I run these trucks, and I'm sure that's part of the reason why they all started right up, is I always run after-run oil in all of them and in the engines. That way they don't ever seize, because the fuel that runs in them is very, well, it attracts moisture. Methanol and nitro. Methanol attracts moisture big time. So if you just cut them off and put them away, the engines will seize up in them. So the next thing I got to do is do an after-run procedure on all these trucks and then put them away. But me and Dorsey here are going to, this truck, what happened to it a minute ago, all 3 of them have a fail-safe on them that I installed. And once the battery voltage gets so low on the onboard battery that operates the throttle and the steering, it'll just automatically apply brakes and it will not let the truck go anymore. It also does that if it loses range of the remote control. That way it doesn't just take off into the sunset wide open until it kills somebody. But anyway, that's what happened to it. The batteries are so old in these things, they're not holding charge and taking charge very well. But what I'll do is I'll try to charge that truck again. I only charged it about 2 hours. I'll try to charge it again and see if it'll take charge again. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this stupid little video that I made about my toys from years gone by. But yeah, me and Dorsey are having fun anyway. See, he loves these things, so that's the biggest reason I'm getting them back out. He always has been fascinated with them, looking at them in the basement, and he's never seen one run. So today's the day. Okay, so this is what I do after every time I ever ran these trucks. And some people say this is the way to do it, and some people say you should take the glow plug out. But this is the way I've always done it, and it's worked just fine. You take the air filter off, which was right here. You just pull it off. And then you take the after run oil, and I just fill it up. I don't know if y'all can see in there, it's kind of dark. I fill the plenum for the engine full of after run oil, and I put the starter on. Get it engaged, and then I need another hand. See if I can do this. I open the throttle wide open, and then I turn the engine over and it sucks the oil down in there. And I do that twice, and that puts oil throughout the whole engine, the bottom end and the top end. So that's exactly what I do. That's what I did before I stored these trucks. However long it was, 10 to 15 years ago when I put them away, that's what I did to them. So anyway, there you have it. They all ran. One of them was broken, but it still ran. I may fix it. Me and Dorsey can get out here and race them when it gets a little bit older. That'll be some fun. So anyway, we'll talk to y'all later.